Hello, welcome to Burnout Syndrome in Nurses, Symptoms Prevention and Treatment Measures and Methods. I'm Ginger Perot. This is the efficacy aspect of my project. This is the link where you can see my YouTube teaching video, but this is the response of my teaching project. The reason that I chose this project is I've personally seen and experienced some symptoms of burnout. Even though I'm kind of a new nurse, I only graduated in 2018, I've experienced it because I pick up extra shifts, I have 2 jobs, and I'm in school, and balancing work and life can be kind of challenging. So I chose this project because I've also seen that it affects new and seasoned nurses. I spoke to my peers about symptoms and I was stunned to learn at how prevalent this problem is, but nobody really talks about it because they're afraid of how they'll be perceived from their leaders. They'll think, well, they can't do their time management skills, or their time management skills are lacking, or they're not doing their job well, or they'll think that the bosses are worried whenever they try to take patients. But that's not the reason. The reason for this project is to make people aware and teach how we can prevent it, how we can treat it, how we can make things better. So the American Thoracic Society has a handout under the Patient Resources tab that devotes a whole handout for burnout syndrome. They talk about 3 main symptoms: exhaustion, depersonalization, and reduced personal accomplishment, but each of those can be broken down into smaller categories. Exhaustion can be generalized fatigue, or emotional exhaustion really is the primary one that we see. Depersonalization is indifferent attitudes, negative attitudes, cynical attitudes in the work environment, feelings of numbness, not feeling emotions when you think you should be feeling emotions, and difficulty focusing on tasks. There's also reduced personal accomplishment, where new nurses especially, they feel like they're suffering from imposter syndrome, where they think, I've made a mistake, it was a fluke that I passed my NCLEX, I'm not sure I should be a nurse. Or they experience depression, or they just completely feel insufficient. But this also happens to seasoned nurses too, especially if a seasoned nurse works a long time in one unit and transfers to another. There's also a financial impact of losing bedside nurses. A facility has to pay about $65,000 in training, hiring a new ICU bedside nurse, and to replace an ICU physician is upwards of $250,000. So it would actually benefit facilities if they get on board with trying to help us with these things. So I began organizing information on my paper to try to disseminate the information in an understandable way. So I went long on my slides, and that might be why some of the responses were this way. I had 5 questions. These are the answers to each question, and this is the efficacy rate of how many were correct versus how many were incorrect. So my first question was 86% accurate. 2, 3, and 5, everyone got correct. But number 4, only 14% got correct. So this obviously means I would need to clarify things, information, revisit those questions and the answers to choose from before it would have to be presented in another place. But I do think that my teaching project was effective because people have asked me questions about it. And that makes me very happy. I feel like my purpose is being served. So I wanted to thank you very much for the opportunity to be in this program. And I'm very proud to be part of the Euler legacy of nurses that are coming through. I just am very thankful. This is my last project, my last assignment. Thank you very much. God bless.